Hey, what is going on? How are you guys doing? Did y'all like that? I mean, I like that. We get better by the week. It's increasing. Y'all know what's going to happen. You know what's going to go on. How are y'all doing? Marcia, can you hear us? Let me know that you can hear us. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? You know, one of these days I'm gonna psych y'all out because y'all think I'm the wild and crazy one. But one of these days, Lyneesha just gonna bust it out and be like, "Bang!" No, you ain't gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
I doubt it.
No, not at all. Yo, I'm so excited. I'm absolutely extremely excited about what we have going on today, guys. This is our marriage money for those marriage Monday, right?
Yep.
And I'm excited because we have special guests today, right? We have Tony and Odessa in the green room from Texas, y'all. Come on, man. So I'm pumped up and excited about that. And we get to talk to you guys from overcoming obstacles. But, you know, we ain't going to get into all that quite yet. We got a special episode that we're going to share with you guys. And we're going to show you guys a little something. What do we call this episode?
Did that just happen?
Did that just happen? So that's what we call this episode. Did that just happen? So we're going to show something with you real quick on That Just Happened. Yes, you can hear us. Hey, Marcia, how you doing, Keish? Love you guys. All right, pay attention to this, guys, real quick. We're going to watch this segment of Did That Just Happen? See, I don't know if y'all got that. Like this is so this is so us, like in so many like ways. Like this is absolutely like it's not on a text tip, but I don't know if y'all caught what was going on. Matter of fact, Kev on stage is one that we watch him like very often in this house, and we just love the comedy that comes to that. But understanding this because it's like every day there's a conversation that goes in our house, and we're like, what's for dinner? And as we come to that place like, what's for dinner? What do you say?
I don't know.
Man,
what do you want?
So we go back and forth with this all the time. Like what are you doing? Like what? So I'm like Kev, like what you want? Like I don't know. And then I'm like, all right, well, Wendy's. I don't want fast food. And then I'm like, okay, well, this. And like I don't know. Like, babe, what do you want? You don't know. So what you don't see at the end of that clip, it was a 2-minute clip, and at the end of it, he basically comes to the conclusion, I'm just going to stop at 4 different places, and I'm just going to bring you a little bit of that. And she gives him the emoji with the heart eyes, and that's just how it is sometimes, guys. But did that just happen? Yes. I just need to know, has that ever happened in your marriage? Has that ever happened in your life? I mean, come on, man. Like we can't even pick a dinner, or we can't even pick lunch, right? That was a little bit for you guys.
It's bad.
It's bad. Anything on that, baby?
No. You just make me look bad.
It's not about making you look bad. It was just the aspect of this is just what happens, right? But I love how Kev was like, yo, like he keep typing those things he want to say, and y'all even see the one. He not even gonna go into all that stuff. But bottom line is, look, marriage is fun, but sometimes you just can't pick dinner. Amen, somebody. All right? Cool. So we're talking about what tonight? You can type it right there. We are talking about overcoming obstacles. Let us know. Type it out there. Say obstacles. I would say turn to your neighbor, but we ain't in church, so I guess you got to type in the chat box. Type in the chat box, overcoming obstacles. And the verse that I think about is in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. And I'll read it for you. I'm going to get my preacher voice on. I wish I had a collar. Can I put that up? I can't button it. Okay. All right. So it says, always be humble and gentle. It says, be patient with one another, making allowance for each other's faults. See, I made allowance for your faults. You know, no, that's not a good point. Okay. Back in the spirit. Because of your love. Verse 3 says, make every effort to keep yourselves united in the spirit, building yourselves together with peace. Now that's powerful, because whether we're facing, the challenges in our situations, we got to realize that we got to unite. And a lot of what we deal with is warfare, right? And as we talked about before, your spouse is not the enemy. You got to come to that point in place where you recognize and realize, look, that we're anointed, we're powerful, and if we're going to fight, we're going to overcome these things, we're going to overcome these obstacles, amen, somebody, by humbling ourselves, by coming together, by being gentle, by being patient, and by absolutely coming to that point in place where we're going to be able to communicate. If we're going to fight the Ephesians 6 way, right? We're going to put on the full armor of God and wrestle against the wickedness in high places and not your spouse. We got to fight back to back and have peace. And that peace comes from the Holy Spirit. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys a quick breakthrough strategy, but I want to hear from you before I move forward on that area. What did you hear? What do you hear the Lord saying?
I think that the main thing is when you're trying to overcome obstacles together, you have to approach it with a team mindset. Like you have to come to the point where you're like, I'm not in this by myself, but we're in this together. And so by being gentle, being humble and all of that, it takes humility to say, babe, I need your help overcoming this. I'm stuck in this situation, or I'm going through this or that. Can you pray for me? Can you pray with me? So I think that keeping that team mindset is so important because God gave you your spouse as a life partner, somebody that has a perspective that you don't have, that has ideas you don't have. And the Holy Spirit may have been able to give them the breakthrough you need in the situation you might be facing in that time. So sometimes we can't see the whole picture. And that's why we have to communicate and talk with our spouse, because we can get their perspective and they can hear something from God that maybe we are unable to hear because we're right in the trenches.
Absolutely. Amen, somebody. Are y'all getting that out there? Overcoming. I see it. Hey, Leroy, how you doing? Michelle, hey, y'all getting on tonight. Look at y'all. God bless you real good. We're going to overcome obstacles together, right? Overcoming some obstacles together. So we're going to get ready to transition to another one. And guys, we just want to speak and highlight really our sponsor for the week. This is a blessed opportunity, and we're super excited. So we want to share with you guys our sponsor. All right. So this week's sponsor is Rose Handyman Services. All right, y'all. Rose Handyman Services. Okay. And if you're in the Chester County area, then you can recognize and see the greatness within that. All right. We have Rose Handyman Services, which it is an amazing guy by the name of Mike Rowe. Okay. And his motto is dealing with reliable and affordable. That's what it is. He's been known to save people amazing amounts of money. We're not just speaking from a sponsor and grateful for who they are just because they are a name, but we actually know them and have used the business. Okay. I mean, the brother can do his thing. Okay, y'all. So we want you guys to go ahead and check out Rowe Handyman Services. Check out their Facebook page. Also, you can email them at mrowehandyman@gmail.com. Okay. And this is for home repairs, renovation, leaks, lighting, etc. Whatever it may be, you need to check it out because he can go ahead and do that. You like the attention to details and stuff from there. So anything you want to give pertaining to our sponsors?
Nope, he's just awesome. You gotta check out his page and see some of his work.
Absolutely, check out his work. And we want to say to you personally, actually, Mike and Janine, we got to say thank you for investing in marriages. All right, cool. So we're gonna get to this thing now. All right, we got guests from Texas. If y'all noticed, last week we started with Texas with Jay and Diana, and this week we got Texas.
It's a trend.
It is a Texas trend with Tony and Odessa, and it's relational.
Yeah.
Right? Because, well, I can't even talk about how I met you. Met Odessa before I met Tony.
I did.
How did you meet the awesome and anointed couple? Tell us about them.
We attended a marriage conference where my whole life was wrecked, by the way.
My whole life.
Odessa actually played a role in wrecking my life that weekend. Because we attended the women's conference together, and that was when the Lord actually really confirmed to me that it was time for me to transition to being at home.
Okay.
And so we just connected really easily, and the relationship has just built from there. And then you and Tony met. Yeah,
well, we connected through Jay. And I mean, that's like my spiritual brother, like for real. Like we got like a lot of the same gift sets. Y'all gonna probably see he probably gonna come on crunked. and you know what I'm saying? I think we had a connection of unique stuff. So I don't just talk just about them. Why don't we just meet them and bring them on? So we're gonna bring up Tony and Odessa. Come on from Texas area. Whoop whoop. Or how they should I say howdy? I mean, what do I say?
Hi guys. So
what is going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
We doing great.
How are y'all?
How we doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we overcoming obstacles, right?
It's good to see y'all face, man. When y'all coming back to Texas?
I knew that was going to come. Look, I want to be. I don't want to affect my ratings because we got some homegrown people that's watching, and just in case y'all don't know, everybody from Texas wants to recruit somebody to come to Texas.
We'll give you back. Just come over. We'll give you back.
We love it. That's our oasis, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, before we get into this, tell us a little bit. Tell us about what you guys do. Who you are. Just talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, so man, we're really excited about what y'all doing. We're really proud of y'all, man. Y'all like an inspiration and motivate us to continue to keep going. I know this thing is hard. You have to, fight for a marriage. So I was very blessed to marry my high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
So she's my high school sweetheart. We've been together for almost 20 years, 19 years, married 15 years. We have 4 wonderful kids, and
we've been married for 16 years.
My bad. So we got to overcome this obstacle real quick.
See what I mean? See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, she's right. She's about 16 years. So, but as you can see, communication is one of the obstacles that we definitely need to learn how to continue to overcome. And we just happy about life. We just believe in building kingdom marriages and families.
Yeah.
And so we just really, truly blessed and honored to be connected with you guys, because we're just expanding the kingdom from the Midwest to the East Coast. We're going worldwide, baby. So we're just excited to be here.
I can't hear y'all. Can you guys hear us?
We can't hear y'all.
Yeah.
We're here.
She put us on mute.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can't hear them.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's great. That's cool. So, you guys have actually marriage ministry.
Yes.
We do. We don't call ours a ministry. We call ours more of a company, because sometimes when people hear the word ministry, they can tend to think a different type of way. So some people are turned off by ministry.
Yeah, I think we just want to reach everybody, no matter where they are in life. And so we know deep down, this is our heart. This is our ministry in our heart. But we don't want to steer people away that are not on the same spiritual walk that we are on. We just want to reach everybody and don't want anyone to feel like, you have to be in a certain walk in your marriage to come to us, to go to anybody to help with your marriage, to overcome to get guidance, to overcome the obstacles in your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just wanting to just not put God in any box, not put ourselves in any box, and just really help as many couples as we can, because I know in all the years that we have been together, we have had many obstacles, and some where we shouldn't even be here today. Like, we should not be together today if we left it, if we didn't involve God and stay committed to the process. And so what we've seen, a lot of couples that we speak to, our generation, we give up too easy. One thing, and they like, I'm out this piece.
Right.
And so we just want to give a new outlook to help them, that you're going to have obstacles.
Right.
And they're meant to get over.
Right.
Yeah. So the name of our company is called Marriage for Real. So Marriage for Real is the name of our company. And like she said, we just want to be real. We just want to talk about things that most people or most marriage ministries don't talk about.
Right.
Right. We want to be real and apply, appeal to all audiences.
Good. Well, since you're already there, we might as well just jump right in then, right?
Go.
Right. That's talking about, we facing obstacles. Well, and they also say in the ministry, we want to talk about stuff that married people ain't talking about.
Right.
So let's get dirty with it, right? Let's get dirty. I want to ask you, what is the biggest obstacle that you have faced as a couple, and how did you get through it together?
So one of the biggest obstacles that we faced in our marriage is infidelity. So probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I committed adultery, and it was a real trying time, and it was the biggest obstacle that we've ever faced. And we feel it was also the birth of our company on being real and how to fight for your marriage. And so the obstacle, when you face an obstacle, one of the biggest things that we know we had to do is we had to make a decision. Well, she had to make a decision whether she was going to stay with me or not.
He had to make the decision that he was going to put up with all my mess that came along with my decision of staying. So, because it wasn't easy, that obstacle, I think, was for me personally, for both of us, but for speaking on my behalf, it was truly a challenge because that was like an inner vow that I made to myself prior to us getting married. Like when we were dating, I was like, I could deal with a lot of stuff, but if you ever cheat on me, I'm out. I just kind of made this inner vow to myself. And within that, I realized what God showed me in the midst of all of that is I pretty much was ending my marriage before we even got started by setting that vow, if that makes sense. So I didn't, when it happened, it was like I had to prove something to myself because I had made that vow, right? So it's like, you can't stay because you said that you were going to do this. And if you stay, then you're going to look like A, B, C, and D. And so that season in our marriage was one of the toughest ones. I mean, we've been through you name it. I mean, we've probably been through it. And so I feel like God has allowed us. I see it as a privilege to go through those things because it has brought us to where we are now. It has made us relatable to a lot of couples. Or we could say, yeah, we did that and we're still here. So let me share with you how we overcame that obstacle.
And so one of the major ways that we overcame that obstacle is we made a decision. We made a decision to fight for our marriage. We had a vision that God put down in our hearts that we will fight for. And we had a mission to create, kingdom families, one marriage at a time. So we made a decision. We also we reached out for help. a lot of couples don't even know where to start.
Right.
And so we reached out for help and just talked with people, and but you gotta be careful on who you talk to. You can't talk to everybody. Odessa really honored me by not even telling her mom and her sister what was going on, because she didn't want them to look at me in another light. So she was still protecting my name and honoring me by not just blabbering and telling it to everybody. So we got in some groups at these different churches that we've been to. One of the churches we went to, it had like a marriage 911 ministry. We went through all these marriage revolution. We went through everything that we could get our hands on. Anything that had
the word marriage on it, we was there.
We picked it up. We had books, and it's marriage is like a job. So we read books, and so we worked, and we really got to really know each other. And we realized we wasn't really speaking each other's love languages. Wow. So that was one thing that we wasn't doing, and I wasn't taking her to God as often as I should have been.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I'm going to go on so many errands. I know Lyneesha has a question to ask you guys, but I mean, I don't want to be so showy and on an agenda that we don't hit the heart and mind. There's people watching, and somebody's been through that situation.
Yeah.
Somebody's been in that point in place, and you guys are sitting there, you're smiling. Y'all in love. It's not fake. We know this is genuine love, but somebody's mindset has to get to, okay, like I see you're smiling and I see you're doing that, but like, how did you get there? And I heard you say some different things that you kind of did, but and I need to overcome that area. But I think we got to take the time to speak to somebody. Like, this is a living example of that you can make it through. Like, biblically, let's go there. You had grounds to separate.
Yeah. You had ground. We had grounds to separate. And I'm not gonna. Don't get it mistaken. I did want to follow that ground. I was like, but Lord, you said in your word, like, I'm showing him the Bible like he didn't know. You said right here, I can leave. But when you hear direct instruction from God to stay, that's what you do. And so I did not understand any of it, but I trusted God because I knew it was God, y'all, because I wanted to go. I had already made up in my mind, like, I didn't like him not one bit. Mm-hmm. And it took us years. I mean, this probably been over 7 years ago, but it took work. It was a lot of work. And just when I made that decision, yes, I'm going to stay. That doesn't mean I never thought again. That thought of leaving never came back up.
Right.
Like I'm at 2:00 one Thursday, and by 5:00 I'm ready to pack a bag. So you know what I mean? Like, it was work. It was work. But if you keep your I remember what God's instruction was for me, and I trusted him more than I trusted myself.
Wow. So, well, I like that because Jimmy Evans has said this, and I know you guys know Jimmy Evans in the ministry very well. But he says, like, the reason for you getting married has to be greater than any obstacle.
Yeah.
And knowing that up front, your purpose and design, that says not only like I have grounds to do this, but God, you said this and you gave me this word. And if you gave me this word and this is the obstacle that we're facing, then we have to overcome it and overcome it together. I can't identify my spouse as the problem, even recognizing whatever the activity is. There still was a spiritual connection and situation. Y'all had to make the decision at some point in time to not fight face to face, but to fight back to back and overcome that thing. I feel the Holy Ghost. So I'm gonna back up off this thing.
Come on, preacher. Preacher.
But I'm just saying, like, that's the realness of it, right? Yeah. The realness of it is it was hard. The realness of it is that sometimes you didn't like each other, but you held on to the word of God for your family, for your marriage. And if you didn't, there wouldn't be no marriage for real.
Would not be a marriage. I never thought that I would be doing this. And I never thought that I would walk away from the only career that I've ever known to do this full time. Never thought it. And I feel like God, I know that God knew that, but for whatever reason, I didn't hear that instruction. So he had to do what he had to do to get my attention. But at the right time, though, because if it was early in our marriage where I wasn't as mature in my walk, then I would have listened to my flesh and walked away. But I feel like he knew at the right time when to do that because I trusted him enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I trusted him enough to take heed to his instruction and stay and work on it.
But also, another thing that we did is we created a mission and vision for our family. So we had a mission and vision for our family that was bigger than anything that can come up against our marriage. So we created a mission and vision for our families. We created core values, and we introduced this to the kids and showed them how their goals and their decisions line up with our mission and vision for our family. So we have a mission and vision. We have a family colors. We have a family logo and crest. And so God wanted to create a whole new generation with our family. And so it kind of started with us. So we made the decision to say, yes, we will continue to expand your kingdom, Lord, by showing our kids what a great marriage looks like. And it's going to have some trouble. But if you fight for it and put him first and put it in the middle of it, it'll all work out.
Yeah.
So, wow, y'all are amazing. Point blank, okay? Like you get the bumps and get everything on. So I'm going to digress. Babe, you had something on your heart that you wanted to share and ask them. So why don't you ask them?
Yeah, so what you shared, first off, thank you guys so much for your transparency and just pouring out your heart, because that's the real stuff, right? That's what people need to hear. Sometimes we make marriage look like, we either make it look terrible or we make it look like it's amazing and there's no problems at all.
Right.
And we don't do a good enough job, I think, exposing the fullness of what marriage is and all that it takes. So thank you guys for sharing that. But my question is more so sometimes you're going through something just as an individual, right? You're married, you're one, but maybe like you're at work and you're under a ton of pressure. You may be about to lose your job. And so you're feeling the pressure yourself. How do you invite your spouse into the process of overcoming that challenge together, even though it's technically like, quote unquote, your problem, something on your shoulders that might not directly affect your spouse, but it's something you're going through personally. How do you come together and work through an issue like that?
Yeah, so one way that I do it is I ask Odessa to, when I'm going through certain situations at work that I don't want to bring home, it could be a lot of stress at work that I don't want to bring home. I ask her to pray with me for one. And then, I asked her to, is this thing what we called, we either asked her to hold the basket or I ask her to just help me solve this problem. So most of the time I ask her to hold the basket so I won't have to have so much stress, but just kind of tell her some of the things going on and what I'm thinking through, and, we'll have to make big decisions at work. But the main thing that I did, besides, going to God, the main thing I do is I'm in a group, and Jabin, my boy Jabin, is in this group. We have a group called Iron Man, where we go and once a quarter we'll meet up with a group and we talk about things that's going on in our lives, and we hold each other accountable. And we always talk about iron sharpening iron and Romans 27:17. And so what we do is we talk about our problems, our issues, and then we usually have our Iron Man like at a Dave and Buster's somewhere. After we talk about our problems, hold each other accountable, we go let off some testosterone and go play some games. So that's one way. Sometimes I don't bring everything home and ask Odessa to hold the basket or pray with me, but being a part of a group is one of the best ways that you can continue to overcome obstacles with people of the like mind and just going in another direction. Because I'm hanging around more entrepreneurs and more business-minded men, and I also have mentors. Mm-hmm. So I go talk to my mentor. So being a part of a group and having mentors is a most excellent way to get through obstacles that you not necessarily want to bring home.
Yeah. Wow. And let me just explain the basket concept. So when he says, if he comes home and say, can I talk to you or whatever, can I talk to you? His first question to me or my first question to him is, do you want me to hold the basket or do you want me to help you solve it? So when you are holding the basket, you're literally just holding the basket. I'm not looking for any, your sense. I don't want to hear what you would do. I don't want to hear what Susie did. I don't want to hear none of that. I just want to throw my stuff in the basket and I'll feel better. Because as you know, you guys have a natural instinct to try to fix everything. Like I don't want it to be fixed. I don't need it to be fixed by you. I just want you to listen in this moment. And so Tony and I, we were just talking about this morning. One of the things that makes it so much easier to have your partner help you with whatever you're overcoming personally is for him to make it a safe environment for me to come to him. Yeah, I got to be able to come to you and me not feel judged or condemned or you in your feelings because you feel like I'm talking at you or trying to tell you what to do, whatever the case may be. Like you got to be able to create a welcoming environment for your spouse. So I've just now started transitioning what I've been off. I haven't spent about 3 weeks now since I've been not working.
Well, you working, babe. You working full time.
I mean, I've been working for the. You're right. I haven't been working for my employer anymore, right?
She is no longer employed. She is deployed.
And so it was a big transition for me, right? Like I've always worked, and that was kind of like, I mean, to keep it real, I was like, that was my break from all these kids that I have. I got a lot of kids.
You do got a lot of kids.
I do. And so it was my break from them. And so when I came home, it was like, okay, now you're full-time, you're an entrepreneur and full-time mom and full-time everything else that comes, under the hat of wearing a mom. Well, one day I just got really overwhelmed and I texted him and I was like, you know what? I have to be honest. This is how I'm feeling. I feel like I just want to send all the kids back to school. I want to go back to work. I'm training for this fitness competition and I don't feel like my hard work is paying off. I only see a 4-pack and I want a 6-pack. And all I want to do is sit in this closet and have some Oreo cookies and cry. That's what I texted him.
And I just...
And so when he came home, he was like, do you want me to hold or I don't want you to fix nothing because you can't do nothing with what I said. I just needed to get that off my chest. Mm-hmm. And he just created that safe environment for me to be able to do that. And now that I got that off, it's like, okay, let's start a new day. That's done with. Let's I've had my moment. Now it's time to get back into the gist of things.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so it's just about creating that environment, that safe place for your spouse to be able to come to you and be vulnerable and what we call hot, that honest, open, transparent communication. Let me just be hot with you real quick and let you know what kind of day I'm having.
That's good. We use hot too.
Yeah.
Good.
Gotta use hot.
Come on. We ain't going there.
See.
Okay, we ain't going there. We ain't going there. All right. Okay. Stay focused.
Go all the way left.
No, all right. We're going to stay in. So let me ask you guys, look, just a word of encouragement, off script, everything else. What would you say to the couple or to the engaged, couple or the single person that's dating or not dating or maybe the divorced person? I don't know. What would you say when it comes to obstacles? What word of encouragement would you give them to have them to keep, to keep trucking, to overcome and to not give up? What would you say?
I would say, think about your legacy. Think about what you want people to say about you when you are like in your obituary. Like, what would you want if you just passed away and people reading your obituary? What would you want people to say about you? That it's ways to overcome things and running and letting the devil win. Then that's one way that you should not want to do things.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would say I would probably I would tell them to just weigh it all out before you chunk the deuces. Really just ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen if I stayed? What's the worst that could happen? You know what I mean? Really, really think about that question. Like, weigh it all. What if I left? What would change? Would I still take my personal issues with me and carry it over to the next relationship? or can I deal with this? Go ahead and make this a better, make myself a better person and be with the person that I truly love and desire to be with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to, did anybody tell you it was going to be easy?
Nobody said it was going to be easy.
Nobody told us it was going to be hard either, but nobody said that it's not going to be easy. I'm going to tell you now, it's not going to be easy. You are going to have obstacles. But the great thing in that is you can get over them. There's nothing too big, too small for God. And you just have to have that open communication and be able to really honestly tell your partner what you need from them, from little to big. Always tell your partner, be transparent with your partner and let them know the exact thing that you need from them. Tonya asked me from time to time, babe, what is it, something that I need to continue, start, or stop doing? Right?
Yeah. Start, continue.
Stop, start, continue. He'll ask me that and I'll ask him that. And that just, because we evolve, we grow, and we change. I'm not the same girl I was in 10th grade when we met. Things change. Don't expect the same Odessa from 1998, something like that, to 2018.
Yeah, but for men, I would say just think about how you can find some life scriptures. And so my life scripture is Romans 8:28. All things work together for me and my family is good for God's glory because we are all called according to His purpose. Kind of the remix. That's the TRV version. The Tony V version. So,
we got our own Bible version over here.
Hey, but find some scriptures to stand on. Find some things to really just cement your God. And as long as you putting God first and our heart is in God, then I know I have to go to God, continue to get to her heart and pray about her and just loving her. So that's what we would say to people.
Just don't give up and just get with your resources. Thriving in love, marriage for real. You got too many resources to give up.
Wow. That's good. That's good. That's good. So real quick before we even head out, I asked the type there. I'll say it to you guys. If you have any questions, because we are about to transition and and get up on off of here. But while we're posing that and seeing if there's any questions in the chat area, we want to say thank you guys. Not only for being willing to come on here, but like we talked about last week with the Ferreras, like doing life with us. We know, and we can't share, all on camera and off camera, but we fully intend to continue to do it's ministry, to continue to do ministry together. You know what I'm saying? And so we love you guys and we thank you. And before we take the questions, I want these guys to be able to go to your website. Not only are you awesome, not only are you guys anointed, but you guys are authors. And you guys, you guys are speakers. You guys do a lot, and you're holding it down. Oh, they just put up the books on the stuff, right? That was on cue. That was on cue. So let us know where we can send everybody to go ahead and check out your books. Let us know.
So the books are available on Amazon.com, and it's Prayers for My Husband, a 31-day devotional journal or prayer journal. And Tony's is Prayers for My Wife, a 31-day prayer journal. And so, you guys, real quick before we go, what I want to share with you how this book came about. So that season that season that we went through of infidelity, God told me to take a month to pray for him. In that, now that was hard because I did not like him. When's the last time I prayed for somebody in your life? You know what I mean? Like, I really did not like him. So praying for him was really tough. And I would just journal every day, my prayer for him. And this is my journal. I did not know that God was birthing a book. But these prayers in here, these are the very prayers that I prayed for him while we were going through. Wow. Really short and sweet because I did not like him. So it ain't what I mean. It's like, Lord bless her, amen. But I love it because this is a part of me being transparent. Literally, these are my prayers published. And so I wanted to share these with you guys because it covers your husband from every aspect in his life, every area that I felt like I needed to change, I needed him to change in, or I need to see improvement in, is touched in this journal. And it was from everything from finances to friendships to the way he thought to everything. In order for me to make our marriage work, I needed to see these prayers come into fruition.
And you also can go to TonyJReese.com. And so not only do we speak, but we also talk about coaching and leadership. We talk about leadership. So I want to help men become the men that God has called them to be, and really show them how to be the kings and priests of their own homes,
right?
And how to really, put their family on a strong foundation, and for them to really thrive and love.
So TonyJReese.com and then OdessaReese.com are our websites, and you can order the books through there as well. Good.
All right, I got to jump in, and we have a question, and then we want to close out. So this is real. All right, y'all. This question is, what made you decide to be unfaithful?
Oh,
that is a good question.
So
I've asked him 8,900.
It's getting hot. Actually, females. This one lady in particular, she started showing me a lot of attention, and it was also around the time where I was actually I was addicted to porn. Yeah, so probably like around the same time. So when they talk about that, I said I made a commitment that I would never cheat on my wife, but I didn't realize that I was cheating on my wife every time I looked at porn. So the porn became reality because I kept feeding that fire, and then all it took was one chicken head to say, "Hey, you look handsome," and start showing me some attention, and so that really how it all happened.
And so, and to piggyback off of his answer, I'll tell you my part in that. That is the true benefit of knowing your partner's love language and speaking that, because at the time I did not know Tony's love language was words of affirmation. So I was speaking my love language to him, which was acts of service, cooking dinner, making sure your clothes are clean and all that good stuff. I was speaking that to him, where all he needed was, "You look handsome today." And that's what she gave him, And so I took responsibility of that part. Like I had to know that about him. And then again, that's where that communication comes from. He didn't know how to communicate that to me. Like, I need you to compliment me more. Or the first time she complimented you, he should have come to me and said, when Susie told me I was cute, it made me feel some type of way. Like it blew my head up. That would have been, that would have just let me know, like, oh, I need to, affirm him some more or whatever he needs. But we were not communicating like that. And we were not speaking each other's love languages like that. So a lot of couples that we sit with, that's one of the first questions we ask. Your partner's love language, because that can change the whole dynamic of your marriage.
That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. Wow. That's good. That's good. All right. Again, we thank you guys. And I know we could talk and talk and talk. Yes. And we definitely will have to have you guys come back for this, for a part 2, and somehow we can tag team and do some things. So watch out for that relationship where Marriage for Real and Thriving in Love comes together and does something spectacular, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Guys, if you can, guys, check out their resources.
Yeah.
We love you guys to life. We appreciate you guys. You got any words before we get up out of here?
No, just thank you guys so much. This has been awesome. If you're still on and you're thinking about so-and-so that should have, heard this discussion tonight, share the video on your page. We want to get the word out to as many people as possible that marriage is not only be awesome, but it is very possible to thrive in your marriage, regardless of what obstacles you may face. So share the video. Follow Tony and Odessa, Marriage for Real. get their books, all that good stuff. We love y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. We love you guys. We love you guys. We love you guys. We love you guys. Look, they are awesome. They are great. They are spectacular. Look, check out their stuff, guys. We're getting ready to let you guys go. But before we, head up out of here, we want to thank again our sponsors, Rose Handyman Services, for investing in marriages, and we thank you guys for watching and being a part of this journey. So look forward. We got some more guests coming. I'm not going to tell y'all. You're just going to have to watch and see. And again, share the word until it's heard. We love you guys. The life you can thrive in your marriage. Beautiful. You done?
Yep.
All right. Peace.
Bye.